Okay, so what are 5 do's and 5 don'ts for the holiday time, right? Okay. Let's first do the don'ts and get them out of the way, okay? Um, in yogic terminology, we call them the yamas and the niyamas, but it means the things that you want to embrace and the things that you want to maybe not do so much of. Number 1 is don't overspend, okay? Because when you do, the bills come in January and you are just so upset with yourself and you're stressed, and give of yourself, be present with people. That's the biggest present people want, and if you have people that want something else, then maybe you want to reevaluate who they are in your life. Okay, I'm not saying don't spend money. I'm saying don't overspend. You know what your budget is. Don't overspend. We're in a recession. We're in, we've got inflation. So pay attention, okay? Don't overspend. All right, number 2, don't overeat. Okay, it's kind of like, vacation. Whatever you do on vacation doesn't count. Still your body, still your psyche, still your essence, still your mental being will carry around the pictures and the weight and the everything else that happens. So pay attention. And if you have a penchant for, loving something really sugary and that you're going to eat, then figure out how to make a variation of it that's not so highly caloric and, better, and bring that, right? And sometimes if you're going to a place that's just going to be sugary and that kind of stuff, eat before you go. So you don't go there and be really super hungry and then just start consuming all of this sugar, right? So eat before, make things that are not as caloric and not as sugar laden. There's lots of better, options. Low glycemic, stevia, xylitol, there's on down the line of lower glycemic things, right? Okay, so don't overspend, don't overeat, don't overcommit to being with people, especially people that are challenging. Okay, I don't care if it's your family or whoever it is that you have to spend time with over the holidays. Don't overcommit. Make sure that you show up, that you're fantastic, that they see you, that you acknowledge their presence, that you are the light, and leave before you get trashed. Okay. If you get caught and trashed, we have some options for that, okay, as well. All right. The other thing is, don't overcommit yourself to too many functions so that you're not really enjoying them. You're just going from one to the next as if it's a duty thing, right? Make the things you commit to really things you want to be part of and that you're excited about. And if it's something that you have to commit to, then again, follow the rule of show up, be charming, be connective, be compassionate, be, charismatic, and bow out. Okay, so don't overcommit, don't overspend, don't overeat, don't spend too much time in places that aren't healthy for you. So that's 4. Number 5 is you and your energy. Know what you have in reserve in your tank and move accordingly, okay? Don't, be here, be there, be your children are here, you're this or there, and you just keep piling on more and more stuff, and your energetic state gets super, super depleted, okay? You want this time to be lovely and connective and passionate and compassionate and, what it was meant to be, holy days, so that you feel more whole, not full of holes, right? All right. And so the do's are, we're going to do an antidote for each one. Do pay attention to who you're giving presents to and what they would like, and make them simple and heartfelt. A friend of mine last year made everybody's presents, and it was lovely. I didn't get something that I would necessarily use. I'm passing them on, but I felt the love and the connection. Without a doubt, it was magnificent. Okay, so if you can't make presents, it's like you don't have the time, then really think of who that person is and buy them some little thing that would be meaningful. Or look at the things that you have and share something that would be meaningful. What do you have a collection of? What do you have that you love, that you would love to pass on? You know, the Native Americans, they were known as Indian givers. They just would give a pipe or give something to someone, and they would come back and get it and say it wants to travel. So, you know, feel free to take something that's yours, that a friend has commented on or said, oh, I love that, and give that to them. That has meaning, that has depth, that has connectivity, that has wholeness to it, right? And you don't have to break the bank doing it. The next is food. Okay, if you have a really good diet, even if you don't, this is a good time to embrace it. I know it seems like it's not at all, like, oh, sugar season, I'm never going to do this. You can make things. There's so many good vegan recipe sites right now, but I love, it doesn't taste like chicken because she's so lovely and her recipes are good. But there's so many of them, and it doesn't have to be vegan, but get creative. Bring food so that you have things that you know that you can eat that won't take you out, make you like, you know, lethargic, or, you know, too much sugar just makes us dumb and lethargic and listless, and you don't sleep well, right? So bring food that's nourishing and amazing, and people will love you, and they'll love, you know, that you're offering an alternative. Just make it taste good, right? That's all. There's so many things people go, I can't believe this is vegan, it tastes too good. Vegan doesn't mean tastes terrible. It's not a translation for taste terrible. It can taste fantastic, but it doesn't need to be vegan. Just healthy, right? Okay. So, food, people. Okay. When you know that you have to be around challenging people, make sure you do something to get your magnetic field really strong. You know, have a good glass of chlorophyll or chlorella or something, you know, with, I like to mix chlorophyll in just some, I like coconut milk, but, you know, coconut milk, and drink that. Super good for your nervous system. And then there's so many things that you can do with two hands, although right now that's not possible for me, but I love this one. Two hands, and you're just going to just do hula and just open your eyes really wide and then shut them. A big arc around your body. You can do it with squats, or you can just do it, you know, but charge your magnetic field. When you leave a place that's been challenging, do the same exercise to clear it, right? Clear the gunk out of your magnetic field. You don't need to carry it around with you, right? When you meet a really challenging situation, retire to the bathroom, and instead of banging your head on the wall or hitting yourself in the third eye, just put your fingers on the wall and just bow up and down. Just, you want to put it down a little bit lower, so you have to get your head lower than your heart, and just let that cerebral spinal fluid come up and down and brainwash you. Wash out your brain, wash out whatever it was that's been said to you. Do that for a couple of minutes, and you can come back out and make a calm, connected, sweet exit, right? You don't have to stay engaged in crazies. There's nothing that says that this person that hooks you every time, this can be the year to say, I'm not getting hooked. I'm resisting the hooking, right? Okay. And the fifth one is when you commit to things, make sure you have a really good reason for committing to them. Not just because somebody asked you and you have a space on your schedule, your calendar, or that your children really want you to go there, or, you know, look at it. Look at it and look at it. Is this for the good of my family? Is this for the good of me? Is this for the good of the world? Okay. Not is this necessarily for the good of just this small little group that's asking you. Ask the bigger question of, who is this really good for? Okay. And if you can say, yes, it's good for all these things, then go for it. Even if you have a function every day. But make sure that you check in and say, who is this good for? Is this good for me? Is this good for my family? Is this good for my community? Is this good for the world? Right? Meaning, it sounds so ridiculous, the world, but no, it really is, because your frequency affects the whole world. Your frequency is part of it. When you get stressed out, burnt out, you know, it doesn't do anyone any good. So I hope that these do's and don'ts for the holidays will really, really help you. Blessings. So.